Yuki and Hame are both starting to choose their own paths in life. But now that they're spreading their wings, it's tough, you know?
A mother growing to embrace whatever her children have inside them to be.
I want you to have that choice.
The hardships aren't lifted, but there's something powerful and beautiful about recognizing life's tough, then you die.
Find the joy in every moment. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I am Alan Seawright, professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
I am Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist. You caught me off guard. I was licking my lips because I had popcorn dust on them, and you just started, so it's good. We'll start this way. Let's run with it.
This is how we're doing it.
I'm licking my chops.
We're professionals.
I'm licking my chops.
It's on brand.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about Wolf Kids with a Z.
No, it is Wolf Children. Wolf Kids with a Z is like a terrible late 90s, early 2000s Disney Channel thing.
Hey, what's up? It's Zendaya from
Wolf Kids.
and you're watching Disney Channel.
I'm going to have you react to this.
Wasn't this recommended to us by our fans?
This was recommended by our fans. Thank you, fans, for teaching us the ways of the anime.
Well, the fact is neither of us are going to sniff out good anime on our own.
Oh, boy.
So go ahead and mark your territory in the comments below and let us know. Sorry, let's just keep going.
No, we're going to keep all of this.
Enough with the stupid puns already.
This was a cool movie.
I'm really glad that our fans and our patrons recommended this to us, but I really especially want to get your reactions to, you know, what does this movie get right about single parenting?
Yeah.
And just raising kids in general. And I really want you to just sink your teeth into this and really...
We got wolf puns for days.
Now it's over.
The day I was born, my dad noticed a cosmos flower blooming in the backyard. Nobody had planted it, it just popped up. That's
So,
why he named
this is not about kids, but
flower.
I just wanted to get your reaction to sort of this life philosophy.
That way, whenever things were tough, I could give life my best smile and get through it. Crazy as it may sound, it always seemed to work.
So that type of positivity
Dad
of...
died, I smiled from ear to ear all through his funeral.
So this is, she's fallen in love with a man who is also a werewolf.
Yep.
And Wolf Children does something, it takes the werewolf genre and makes it's sentimental instead of scary.
I mean, the first, 20 minutes of this movie is basically Werewolf Twilight if Twilight didn't suck.
I'm not good.
But this mentality, so she's talking about smiling through hardship and smiling at her father's funeral. I think it's a double-edged sword. I think you could fall into the trap of toxic positivity, like we talk about in our Inside Out episode of having to pretend like everything's okay, keeping a stiff upper lip and not showing that you're hurting, right? That would be unhealthy. But there's something powerful and beautiful about recognizing life's tough, then you die, right?
Yeah, find the joy in every moment.
I think you have to be careful. Like, it's good to smile. It's good to say, I'm going to make it through this. It's good to say, even if this is hard, I'm going to grow from this.
Sure.
And I'm going to find the joy no matter what, as long as you're giving grief its due.
Right.
As long as you're not, like, pushing it aside. That's what I would
It
say.
is also okay to cry from joy when other people are smiling and happy.
Yeah.
That is what I tell myself every day.
Yeah.
I've never told anyone about this. I was scared. I still am because it's you.
I just wanted to get your reaction to his, being open.
No.
And I want to talk about the best werewolf transformation since American Werewolf in London.
Hot dog
Baker, eat
fingers.
your heart out. Hot dog fingers.
They make him the sexiest werewolf. Like, his hair's, like, blowing in the wind, and he's all hot and emo. Oh, he's so hot and so miserable.
And now, you're a furry.
I just want to, like, go listen to All American Rejects with him and
He looks like such a good boy. I want to give him scritches.
Tell me what you see.
A hot, sexy werewolf man.
Looking at werewolf tropes, though, in almost every werewolf or person turns to wolf story, they go rabid and wild, and they're not themselves.
Well, the whole werewolf trope is like men are these irrepressible monsters
Yeah.
at night. Right?
Yeah.
That's where the whole mythology comes from.
What are we? Werewolves, not werewolves. No, it's
It's a very offensive word.
And this completely flips it on his head, and he turns into a wolf, and he's just this gentle kind. He's just fuzzier now.
Yeah, he's still him. He's still safe. He's still respectful. He's still. When I was watching this, I'm like, oh, here he goes, and I'm expecting her to run off.
Sure.
But she's not even scared.
Right.
Like, I don't know how they do things in Japan, but apparently werewolves aren't scary over there, which is good for them.
Sure, great.
It's wonderful that he realizes, okay, I've got this side of me that other people don't see, and that he's choosing to show it to her because he wants to have a relationship of trust with her.
Yeah.
Right? Because this story could also be told where he tries to hide it from her.
Right.
And then she discovers it, and then they have. And in an American movie, that's probably what would have happened.
That's because you go for the drama, and there's easy drama there.
Yeah.
And this is just like easy drama. Pfft, we're gonna go for single parent drama.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, here's a good source for relationship drama. You're a wolf.
Well, and to your point of like the assumption is that healthy relationships are boring. A lot of times, at least the anime we've been getting says, nah.
No, healthy relationships are awesome because sometimes healthy relationships have comets.
So she's had little babies with him.
And he brought some groceries back and then disappeared. And I just wanted to talk about the sound design in this sequence because she discovers and we hide it.
It was him.
As soon as she figures out what's going
We'll
on,
never know what
everything
Dad was
else goes
thinking that
away.
day. Maybe he was heeding the call of the wild. Instinct driving him out into the rain to hunt down fresh meat for his newborn and his mate.
And then it all comes back in.
And brutal, they just unceremoniously lift him and bag him.
Yeah.
Because to them, he's just a drowned dog.
Well, and these characters are faceless, right? They're literally just blank heads
Why is that, do you think? What's...
to show her internal state of like, she's not even processing. The only thing she's processing is what's happening to Wolfman. Which, by the way, he never gets a name. He's
Yeah.
credited in the credits as Wolfman.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the story's not about him. It's about Hana
Yeah.
and her kids. That's awesome. I just love that.
So here's what I love about fantasy storytelling. If you do it right, the circumstances can be completely out of this world, not based in any sort of reality.
Yeah.
But the emotional reality rings true to the human experience.
And in a lot of ways, you can wring more emotional reality out of it. But if you're living in a world where a man is a wolf, well, I guess throw all that out. Let's just focus on the emotional core of what's happening.
Yeah, that's true. So you got this really heavy-hitting moment, which registers emotionally of what if you came across your beloved and they're just gone.
Yeah.
Like it's harsh and it's awful. And this is the reality for single parents everywhere.
Sure.
Is there some sort of loss? Like if they were partnered up, is the loss due to breakup or divorce? Is the loss due to death? And if they weren't partnered up, there's this loss of, okay, I'm doing this alone.
Yeah. And for most people, there's an expectation of I'm not going to be doing it alone.
Right. Some people choose to say,
Sure,
like,
yeah,
I'm
that's
just going to do in vitro and, like, I want to have a kid. And that's, that's a different thing. But the trials of single parenthood are still there.
The exact same.
But it's compounded for her by grief.
Dad had left us a little money, but it wasn't much in the grand scheme of things.
This is why you always wall anchor your furniture.
Yeah.
Wolves are people. We didn't know how to be either yet. Between the two didn't
My
really
kids
figure
love this
out
too. They thought they were so into it.
Yeah. Okay. As both a parent and a dog owner,
Kidding me.
that's just so relatable.
Some nights Ame would just cry and cry. All Mom could do was rub his back until he tired himself out, even if it took all night.
And there's this thing, like, there's this parent power where you can fall asleep almost immediately.
Yep.
And you can also wake up almost immediately.
Yeah, I hear this from like combat vets, right?
Yeah.
Like you get to the point where you've been in the trenches so long or whatever, and you can just like, and then like the second you hear orders, it's like, huh? Yep.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. And it's like, not that being a parent is like being in combat, but it is.
What I like about this is they're not little terrors as
No,
much
they're
as
just exploring and
they're just
being kids.
Yeah.
So they move out into the boonies, and
Because they'll be discovered in the city.
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about adventurous kid versus scared kid. Do you have one of each?
Uh-huh.
I thought you did.
She is trying to create a safe, peaceful life for her children.
Yes.
And she goes out to the farm, into the country, to have no community. Is the purpose she goes out there because she's anticipating rejection.
Well, and she's worried
persecution.
that people are going to think her kids are monsters because they're monsters.
How dare you?
It's just they're real cute and fuzzy.
And this film is really about the travails of being a parent and how much you give.
Yes.
And it's such a beautiful love story between mother and children. Like it really, really is very touching. But she goes on to find community, even though she's not looking for it, and realizes how much she needs it.
Look what I found, Mommy! Honky man, I grabbed it!
Started honking at me and I grabbed. This girl gets it. Geese suck. You geese.
Oh my gosh, why? Why with the F-bombs in the family movies? Why is this the thing now? How did this happen?
No, this girl watched The Notebook. She knows. How many geese? Kill all geese. This is a nightmare.
How come the wolf always has to be the bad guy, huh?
You mean like in the picture books?
Everybody's mean to them, and they always get killed at the end. It's because of that. I don't want to be a wolf.
You're right. But, Mommy thinks wolves are pretty nice people. Even if everybody else is mean to them, I'm gonna stick up for the wolves through thick and thin no matter what.
Oh, that's good parenting. I guess my question is for you, like metaphorically, what is this scene saying about the real world?
I think everyone has felt like the outcast at some point.
Yeah.
Right? In some way, you've felt like I'm different and people aren't going to accept me. And most of the time we feel that pretty strongly as kids for something.
Yeah.
This kid looks at, storybooks, and instead of, reading the little morality play or whatever, he's like, why do they all hate the wolves? Obviously, he is a wolf, so he's thinking about himself, but he's also seeing a completely different side of the story. It really resonates with me because of, my own son who does the same thing. But it's also just, I think there's something universal in that. His response is, I don't want to be a wolf.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be what I am because people won't like it.
And we fear difference, and we form communities based on similarities, right? And so we're similar, so we should be together, but then automatically those who are dissimilar are outside.
Right.
And we fear the other, instead of embracing or learning from the other. And it's a hard thing because when you're an outcast, you think the problem is you instead of embracing that, no, this is everybody else.
Right. Like you were saying, it's just beautiful, amazing parenting. So, and there's a lot going on here in the animation. There's like a lot of multiplane with all of these trees going past. It feels really realistic. But the score by Masakatsu Takagi is just distilled joy. Like, I don't know how else to describe this.
Yeah. Well, and she has so cool. She's such a model parent because her kids are wolves. She's not running through the forest the same way they are. She's not experiencing things the way they are. But she's experiencing their joy by proxy.
Right.
That instead of her kids are going to turn out like her,
she's seeing the ways they can be different and how it's great for them.
Because how many parents want to relive their glory days by you do what I did when I was young, right? Instead of, what were you going to say? Oh.
I can't even talk. I'm like, laughter through tears.
She joins in with them.
Damn you, Pixar, but it's not Pixar.
Why is that getting you? Because it's not sad.
I don't know. This is my damage. I don't understand it. Like, this happens to me constantly. I watch something and it's so joyful and fun and just great that this is my response.
Yeah, it's truly beautiful. It's just a celebration of wholesome love.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of nowhere. Their house has been flooding with the rain. They've been struggling to grow crops. Their dad is dead. Her husband's dead.
It's been really rough.
It's been really rough, and they're finding joy with each other, just in running through the snowy forest. You know?
Yeah.
And therapeutically, we often look for big solutions to big problems. And sometimes big problems are going to last a long time and they're meant to be endured and we grow through them. There is no bringing your husband back. There is no quick fix for the crops or the house. But in her case, like, the hardships aren't lifted, but that doesn't mean she's going to not find the joy in the midst of them.
Right.
And what I tell people when they're struggling with depression or very difficult circumstances is don't wait for this to lift, to live, and to do the things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And to do the things that bring you fulfillment and satisfaction. You have to, that's the only way you find the strength to soldier through, is to have these types of moments.
Yeah. I love this movie.
We also get injured birds and raccoon dogs. As soon as they've healed up, we release them back into their natural habitat.
So they go to a
wildlife preserve.
Go to that place a lot from now on. You'll be okay with coming with me.
She gets a job there.
I'm gonna learn all the things about nature that I can. And then we'll go home and I'll teach it all to you.
I'd never seen one before.
What, a wolf?
So did Daddy act like that one?
Not at all.
Good, I'm glad.
Why is that?
The one we saw today, his eyes were kind of sad. I wanted to meet a wolf like Daddy.
Your daddy was special. He was truly one of a kind.
Yeah, that reminds me of conversations I have with my kids about their grandma who they never knew. I think it's beautiful that she as a parent is, okay, my kid is leaning more wolf than child, and if it matters to them, it matters to me.
Yeah.
See, this movie keeps making you cry, and normally when we watch movies, I understand why you're crying. Today,
I don't know that I've ever felt as strongly just the emptiness of a kid wanting to know what his dad is like than that scene.
I'm always sad when kids have to grow up fast.
Yeah.
You know, and these kids absolutely do. They experience loss and grief from birth.
Yeah.
My mom used to say, you know, if it's important to you, it's important to me. Which is why in high school, my mother, who was a middle-aged white American woman raised on the Brady Bunch, took an interest in Jackie Chan movies.
I was not expecting that.
But she knew that if we watched Jackie Chan together, I would talk with her for forever.
Sure.
You know, he's wanting to know more about the wolf side because she's been trying so long to raise them to be people.
Yeah.
And when she sees that he's leaning towards wolf, instead of trying to stop that, she's like, okay.
She goes and gets a job at the nature reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hame! You had me worried sick, you know that? Oh, you're soaking wet. Hold on, I'll draw you a hot bath.
It's Sensei. He can't move because he hurt his leg.
So
I think
Sensei
he's gonna die.
is a fox that lives up on the mountain and has been teaching him the ways of
He's the
animals.
guardian of the mountain and everything on it. Someone's gotta take his place.
No way. I don't want you going up there. I mean it. You're barely 10 years old, Ame. You're just a kid. A 10-year-old wolf is an adult, but that's different. You're not a...
Sound design. This is a good movie.
Please. Don't go onto the mountain again. Please, Ame. For me.
All right, talk to me about what she was about to say and how she caught herself.
I mean, I think a lot of times we're like, I'm going to honor the journey and see who they choose to be and everything, but we all have a life that we want for our kids.
Well, and in her case, I mean, she's literally never thought ever that you'd be anything but a human because I'm probably going to have human children.
She mated with a wolf man And so, but the wolfness was like something to manage early on instead of the core of who they are.
Right.
Which in the case of her son, it is the core of who he is. She knows that he's a wolf, but she hasn't let herself accept it. And she's begging him for me. Mm-hmm. And where she's going to get is that's selfish.
And there is absolutely brilliant filmmaking in that scene. She almost says you're not a wolf, catches herself. Mm-hmm. And then we bring up the sound of the rain. And this is subtext. It's not in the text because no one ever says it. But the subtext there is she's remembering, oh, you are a wolf just like your dad. I lost him because of his wolfiness. I'm not willing to lose you because of your wolfiness. Such good filmmaking.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's an adult. He knows himself.
An adult?
Ame knows where he's supposed to be.
He's 10. So she has gone to the forest to find Ame because he went off to be king of the mountain, basically. Yeah. And she passes out and has a vision or a hallucination, something, but she sees Wolfman.
She goes to King's Cross and sees Dumbledore.
Correct. And then he brings her back.
Her son does, yeah.
Yeah. To the nature reserve.
Well, that our kids grow up faster than we're ready for.
Absolutely.
And they're going to make choices that aren't the choices we would make for them. But we honor them. And in his case, and this is the thing about life, is you have your family and then you grow up and you move on.
Ame! This is what you want? Aren't I supposed to have taught you something important in life?
She's, kind of naturally seeing this as a personal attack. You've chosen the wolf side of yourself, not the human side.
And now...
This is like big melodrama, and it totally works.
Yeah.
So good. Gorgeous shot and great music.
And it seems cold.
You're where you belong!
It seems cold when he runs off instead of consoling her. Yeah. But he's showing her.
Right.
You taught me everything I need.
Yeah.
I'm ready. You did a good job. It's time to let me go. I love that he knows exactly who he is. And the thing about being a parent is it's hard to embrace that someone younger than you with less life experience than you knows more about who they want to be than you do and who they're supposed to be than you are.
Yep.
Or than you do. And you have to trust him. And it's this wonderful moment for her of trusting him. This is not only what he wants, but it's where he's happy.
Yeah.
And that if she's saying stay, she's holding him back from that. And she doesn't want that.
Right.
And she's alone in that house, which would normally be like super sad. My husband's dead. My son's a wolf in the mountains.
My daughter's off at, is she at college or late high school or something?
And you would think that she's unhappy and miserable and alone because that's kind of like the Western way of thinking. And she's perfectly content.
She's like, I did it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I raised my kids. I taught them. And they're going on to be successful doing what they want to do with their lives. And
I've got my potato farm.
And there's a whole, second episode we could do about finding community
For sure.
You know, like there's a secondary strong theme in this.
The grumpy old guy who forces her into the community without telling her is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Who helps her because he cares, but he's a real jerk
He's
about it.
such a jerk the whole time.
Give it a rest. Huh? Walking around with that smile on your face.
Beautiful film, beautiful lessons, incredible look at what healthy parenting looks like. This is a love letter to single parents who fight that good fight and sacrifice of themselves, and it's beautiful. Like, I loved it.
So until next time. And watch movies. We also want to thank our patrons who help support our show and bring it to you.
To you, Jonathan. Simone Cooper, Tabitha Hammer-Esser, Mei Lin, Lauren Wagstaff, and Katie Garrison. Thank you for supporting us on our Patreon.
Thank you for being wolf children.
Wolf kids.
Wolf kids with a Z.